I welcome everybody to my channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a video on the potential and likelihood at this point for a fairly significant winter storm. It's gonna drop up to 8, potentially almost a foot of snow in some areas. There's already winter storm watches posted, so this is gonna be a fairly decent storm that the models have been hinting at for a couple of days now. I have held off with this storm due to the fact that some previous storms have formed in the models at least, but have never occurred. So this one I thought could have been similar, but at this point in time, we're 2 days away from the main event. This is going to be occurring on Thursday, so I'm thinking that it's time to make a video on this. Before we get into this, if you like these type of videos, if you like these type of updates, consider subscribing, consider liking. Thank you for your continuous support on my channel. We are looking right now at the GFS 6-hour average precipitation rate, millimeters per hour. There is a storm that is exiting out of the northeast right now. It brought some rain, some snow. It wasn't necessarily a huge winter storm, but it was one of those late fall storms that did impact the United States. But out of the front that this storm left behind, you could see right here, what it did, if I were to click on this ahead, there's a low that comes out of the system. There's so much moisture here with this remaining cold front. Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick, so sorry if there's going to be any major sniffles or slurping. But I'll try my best. And you can see that it starts getting up into here. There's plenty of cold air. I mean, you can see the 540 line is somewhere right along here. That's 540 line is typically what we call the rain-snow line, which is a 32-degree line. And you can see some snow, maybe potentially some snow flurries, some snow showers, sporadic flurries as far south as Mississippi, southern Arkansas. So that is very interesting. We'll need to watch. And then as the storm pushes further and further into this cold air, it brings in a lot of warm air into the cold air, and as a result, that warm air overrides that cold air, and it produces, as hinted by these models, some sleet, some freezing rain, and in the areas where there is cold enough air, it will be all snow. So we go through time, you could see that this expands, and the models are either not really sure about whether this is going to be ice, sleet, freezing rain, sleet, or snow. It could be either or even rain if it's warmer than they're expecting it to. And even the National Weather Service just has winter storm watches posted. They don't have blizzard warnings, blizzard watches. They don't know if it will be snow. See, a winter storm warning, a watch, doesn't necessarily mean that snow is coming. It means that some sort of winter precip is going to fall in a major way that's going to impact the area. So you could see central Illinois, central Indiana, southeastern Missouri, plenty of snow. It gets as far east, I should say, as potentially Chicago, as far west as Chicago, and it goes pretty far up north, but you can see it kind of takes this path where this system goes like this and out like that. And once it does that, you can see that it brings in quite a bit of snow into the northeast, and that does bring in several inches, if not up to a foot of snow. And that passes through, and then we could see another little system developing, but that is to talk about a different episode. We are now looking at the GFS, like I said, the snowfall totals. Let's zoom in on the eastern part. Let's just zoom in on the eastern part. You could see the green is indicating 12 inches and above of snow, but at this point, when the models are indicating sleet and freezing rain, I have been observing the weather for long enough to realize that when the models are indicating rain, that pinkish, purplish color, the snowfall amounts are usually not accurate. What I would be confident in is these snowfall amounts. I think that up to 6, maybe up more than half a foot of snow in central Illinois, southern Indiana, Kentucky is possible. However, if that cold air is deep enough, then anything is possible. We go now, let's switch on to the NAM 12KM model. Basically the same setup with the storm. If I were to go to the radar, I will focus a little bit less now on this since the NAM does tend to have a cold bias, so it will have greater snowfall totals. You can see there it is, bringing up quite a plume of moisture into the southeast, and again, snow as far south as central Mississippi, southern Arkansas, western Tennessee, southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, and you can see that breaks through. And here's just a big mixed bag of precip. We don't know what that's going to be. The models are showing right here sleet, some freezing rain, and some snow. And what now they're at these areas where they're showing where this rain was, rain snow mix, they're showing huge amounts of snow, which I don't think there's going to be that much snow as they're showing right here. I mean, 19, 16, 14 inches. That would be ridiculous. That's what the models tend to do, especially the NAM, once they show mixed precip. It's just kind of like a glitch. I'm not sure why they do that, but these snowfall amounts here are probably not correct. The only snowfall amounts I would be confident in from both the models I've showed you so far are these right here. In this area. This right here, however, this is just a whole nother story. I really don't know if cause some of this could fall as freezing rain, which would cut the snowfall totals into thirds. I mean, this would definitely cut down on the snowfall totals. If we now look to the Canadian model, which I would like to show you as well, we are looking, won't show you the radar, I just want to show you the storm. We aren't looking at as much snow here at all, and this may be actually the most reasonable, sorry about that, this may actually be the most reasonable, the Canadian model, due to the fact that if this falls as rain or ice, then we will see no snowfall accumulations. Let's go to MSLP and precip, and you can see they are not too sure about these snowfall totals quite yet. Anything, however, is possible, though, with that. They're showing sleet and freezing rain, but they're not showing much snowfall on this total snowfall map, and I think that is very reasonable, because if there's sleet or freezing rain, that's not going to be snow. I don't know why the models are picking up on that, though. And we are seeing that the snow in the backside of this will be fairly plentiful and will be producing fairly good amounts of snow in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, and into portions of Michigan. This passes through, and you can see the Canadian model actually has quite a bit centered, quite a bit of its snow centered on the inner parts of the Northeast. If we go to totals, back to the total snowfall, these snowfall amounts are possible: 17, 11, 12, 14 inches. I also would be fairly confident in these snowfall amounts of up to 5, 7 inches here. But that amount that the NAM was showing, that's very, very aggressive, and I wouldn't know. And I'm not sure if I would agree with that. We're looking right now at the National Weather Service Weather Ready Nation map, and we are looking at a bunch of freezes, frost advisories, warnings, but in these lighter blue colors, or these darker blues, we are seeing some winter storm watches, which will soon evolve into warnings. So let's just go to, say, Carbondale. That's a fairly big city in southern Illinois. You can see it shows snow 3 to 5 inches on Wednesday night. So this is fairly exciting for the snow lovers, because, not often do you see snow so far south at all during the season, but especially in November. So 2 to 5 inches of snow is possible and likely, and ice accumulations of around 1/10 of an inch. That's especially towards the end or the beginning of the storm. Let's go to the area right in here, the area that NAM was showing ridiculous amounts of snow. Let's just click on any given county. We are looking at, you can see freezing rain, then sleet, rain, a little bit of snow, especially towards the end, but they are not giving you much snow, 1 to 2 inches. But in terms of ice, this could be a massive icing event. This could be a massive ice storm in terms of the precipitation that may fall. I would like to look at one last model. This is called the European model. It is in many meteorologists' favorite model because it shows it the best. The GFS I did show you. Many people don't like that. In terms of the European model, again, new snowfall accumulations for the next 3 days. Let's exit out of that. Next 3 days, especially across the Pennsylvania Mid-Atlantic region, quite a hefty amount, 10 up to a foot of snow, and that sharp cutoff again at that southern Chicago line. We had the snow a couple days ago that just came just south of the Illinois line, or the Chicago line, came and went. And this may be very similar. So if you live in Chicago, you may miss out on this yet again, Northern Illinois. I can't really do anything about that. But you can see these snowfall totals in here, fairly plentiful as well. So we're looking at a fairly large winter storm actually coming in through here. Even the coastal areas may get some snow. But again, the European model may be picking this up as sleet or freezing rain. So we're not really sure in these snowfall amounts exactly, to be sure. But this is definitely an event to be tracked, an event to be monitored. We definitely need to keep an eye on this. If we were to go to the NAM 3KM, which is more a higher resolution model of the NAM 12KM, you could see still that same thing. Even into northern Georgia, we're seeing quite a bit of rain or snow. But again, is that going to be right? I'm not sure, because I do know the cold air is going to be plentiful. If you look at the 2-meter temperature shaded, there's going to be plenty of cold air down south into the southeast, below freezing in many parts and at many times. But is it going to be cold enough in terms of its depth? Because freezing rain and sleet form when there's not enough cold air and there's more warm air, that's freezing rain. And when there's more cold air, less warm air, that's sleet. And when it's all cold air, that's snow. And you can see that those temperatures do get fairly chilly. So it's potentially reaching the Gulf Coast, the freezing temperatures. We don't know, but in terms of the National Weather Service, they do think that, and the reason why I know they do think that is due to this. They have freeze watches and warnings posted all the way down to the south here, to the Gulf Coast. So they do think it's going to be fairly cold. So it's definitely completely possible that we could be looking at a fairly big winter storm brewing across the south. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. And I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. It should have one more at least update about this winter storm, if not two. So thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.